What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today, we're going over the challenge. USA season number 2, episode number 3, where we left off after last week. We had 2 episodes, kind of a double feature. We're going to have another episode on Sunday that's kind of a second part of this, because we did land on a little bit of a cliffhanger. It wasn't as bad as last week when they left us hanging with no elimination, and then we got 2 eliminations with Jonna and Amira both getting eliminated on Sunday's episode. This one wasn't as bad. We did get an elimination. So what happened? We had most of the rookies and, the new blood in the house kind of coming together to start picking off the vets. That's kind of the trend that we saw when Jonna got pushed in to the elimination. And then even before that, it kind of seemed like there was a bit of a push where, hey, these young guys aren't going to just sit around and let these vets come in and tell them what to do. They're going to push back and they're going to make some moves. Another really interesting thing that we got really early in this episode was it seems like there's a new Paulie. And this is kind of a surprise. Anybody who has known Paulie from any of his seasons of the challenge, all the way back to when he was on Big Brother, and even if you are just aware of his brother at all, like how different of a person they are, it really seems like Paulie now has expressed that he's kind of found himself. He went to therapy. He's kind of figured out like what was going on in his head. He had all these like anger issues going on, and he's kind of just figured himself out now. And it seems like he's in a really good space mentally. And it's like, yo, I'm really happy for him, but also he's a threat now. Like Paulie is a serious danger. If he's someone who is focused and ready now and like beforehand wasn't at his 100% all the time, now that he's in a much better place in his life, this could be a game changer for him, and definitely watch out for him going forward. But we end up going to the daily challenge, which involved a lot of swimming. They had to swim out to a boat. They had to flip the boat over, full on capsize it, because underneath the boat, there was an answer key to a list of flags that they would have to hang on the mast of that same boat. But in order to get those flags, they had to swim out the buoys that were off to the side. Everybody had to go at least once to get a flag. And then whoever got the most in order correctly in the fastest amount of time after swimming back to land would be the winner. Red and blue team both got 20 flags, and it was a tie there. But blue was the faster team, meaning they get the win and they have the power. But how will they use it? What will they do? Will they go after the vets like we've been talking about? We also got a really cool conversation between Cory and Alyssa. And I guess I should be more specific because there's Alyssa S and there's Alyssa L. We're talking about Alyssa L from BB23, not Alyssa S from BB24. Alyssa L has this convo with Cory, and she talks about it. She's like, you're on the bottom of that vets group, right? Why are you hanging out with them? There's no reason why you should do that. Why are you going against them? Work with us. Don't just blame us for it, right? You don't even have to take that much flack. And she does a great job here of expressing her point to really try and get what she wants, and even allow him to use her as like some fodder, right? To be able to be like, yeah, just throw me under the bus. Like, I don't care because I'm making this move. Either get on the bus or get run over as well. We do end up going to the vote where it is Bananas and Amanda who get voted in, with Cory and Fessy both making a big statement for voting with these kind of new bloods / rookies. We can even take a look at the vote split here. Bananas getting 6 votes, Monty only getting 2 votes, and then Amanda getting 4. The one there for Amanda was really sealed by Cory, because that was the one that Fessy didn't vote for as well. He voted for Bananas, but he didn't want to vote for Amanda because his connection with her. but it was Cory who sealed Amanda heading to the elimination as well. That then takes us to the balls, because this is only half of the elimination process. The winning team gets to vote in a guy and a girl, and they voted in Bananas and Amanda. You can also see in that picture, Tori not happy with how that went, especially with Fessy and Cory going along with it. It's not like they really could have changed it much anyway. The best they could have done is tied it up with Amanda and Tiffany for the girls going in. Bananas was going in. They just didn't have the votes. Everybody was on board. One thing that I did actually find a little bit interesting too was Sebastian, like, not necessarily going along with it. I would have assumed he would have been on board for going after Bananas, but he ended up voting for Monty and Tiffany, and that kind of surprised me. I wonder if he was just kind of throwing his votes just to kind of keep his hands clean. Chris just kind of jumped on board with everybody else. It was like, yo, I'm good to go. But that takes us to the balls, right? Because again, this is only half the process. Here we had where all the votes went. Monty ended up getting 5 balls, so he was the most likely to end up going in. And then it was Chanel, who only had one. So it seemed like Amanda had a really good chance to be safe here. And it seemed like it was going to be Bananas going up one against one of these guys, with Monty having that best bet. But it was not Monty's ball who was picked. It was Paulie. Of all the people, Paulie, who we saw earlier with really just being able to show that, like, hey, he's kind of turned over a new leaf and he's kind of found who he really is. Now he's getting sent into elimination. And we should have known. We should have known with that foreboding and that kind of little bit of storytelling they did early on. We should have known that this was coming. But this elimination that Paulie and Bananas had to go into was really cool. This was one of the most creative and interesting competitions that I've seen them do in a really long time. They basically had to stand on this huge block of ice with their hand strapped above them, this giant bucket of fish guts above, that if their hand would drop to any like inch, that bucket of guts would dump on top of them. But it's not just your standard endurance where it's like, oh, they're standing on a cold block of ice. No. There's another little twist in this. There's a big pile of bean bags next to them. They can use this to throw it at targets in front of them, which would not only turn on flames for their opponent, but it would turn their flames off that are underneath their ice. So we get right into the competition, and Bananas right away just starts tossing. He just starts the tossing, and they go back and forth, not missing a shot. But the real key here is you wanted to make sure you were the one with the last bag, because they didn't have unlimited bags. They only had so many. So you wanted to make sure you had that last shot, because if you had the last one and you hit your mark, you would turn off your flames and you would keep your opponent's flames on, meaning that block would melt lower and lower. And again, they didn't miss a single shot. A single shot. Paulie almost slid off the block of ice at one point. But then the real critical moment, Paulie has the last bag. It seems like, hey, all Paulie's got to do, hit that target, and he's got this in the bag, and he can beat Bananas. But on the most critical throw of the entire elimination, Paulie's bag sails under the target, and he misses. His flames stay on, they start melting, and that gives Banana the edge, and Bananas is able to pull off the win. Paulie is gone. I gotta say it. After seeing this new Paulie, this new, more focused version of him, I want to see him back. I can't wait to see him back again and how he can do. I think he got kind of a bum rap here, and it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame to see Paulie go. But that then takes us on to what is Bananas going to do? Now that he's won the elimination, he gets the choice. He can infiltrate another team, or he can stay on his team. What would he do? cliffhanger. We won't find out until Sunday's episode. So yeah, that's where we left it with. But what did you guys think of this? I'm really enjoying how this is all playing out. One other thing I actually forgot to mention that it was just I found hilarious. Because after the initial nominations, Banana and Cory had their little spat where he did call him out for, voting against the house. He also went up to Fessy and called him out as well. But then he had kind of this like sermon where he was talking to everybody. And maybe one of the funniest things is how Dusty was talking about how Bananas is like a hero to him. He looks up to him. I need a hero, holding up for a hero for the rest of my life. He's just like a good old Bonnie Taylor up in here. Maybe he's more like Foo Fighters, right? He doesn't want to see Bananas go, and he has to say, there goes my hero. This guy, the way he was talking about him was like he can just worship the ground that Bananas walks on, and I just found that really funny. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of the whole episode, how this season's going. I like that the newbies are, and like the new blood and the rookies are kind of sticking it to those vets, and they're not letting them just kind of push them over. They're playing their own games. I like to see that. It's more cutthroat this season, it feels like, than it kind of normally was, where everybody's just like, oh yeah, let's just kind of get to the end, right? Like, don't make too many waves. You don't want to, ruffle too many feathers. People are playing hard, and I like it. I'm really excited to see Alyssa L. We saw her on BB23, but she really didn't have a chance to really show everything she had because there was just such a dominant alliance in there. There was nothing for her to really find her way to make her a spot for herself in that game. In this one, she's setting the tone. I think eventually she'll get taken out, but she's setting the tone right now on how this game should be played, and I gotta give her credit. I'm loving it. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Bananas will end up switching teams next week? Who do you want to see be heading into the elimination? Who are you rooting for so far? Let me know all those things in the comments down below. Also, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. If this is your first time here as well, I also do Big Brother updates every single morning. If you're a fan of Big Brother, we've been doing that on the channel. Also, check out any of my other challenge updates and check out the links in the description down below for all of my socials. Things like my Twitch, Kick, Twitter, Discord, everything in between. Follow what you want, ignore what you want. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you next time.